Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Mohammed Akram, working in College of Computer Science and Information System at Najran University. Today I am going to discuss about the data collection for the program learning outcome, that how we can collect the data and how we can prepare the assessment report for formative assessment, because we have two type of assessment: formative assessment and summative assessment. So, but this discussion will be related to the formative assessment. So before we go to how we can collect the data, just we will discuss what is our program learning outcomes. So if we see the definition of program learning outcomes are measurable statements. Okay, so what is program learning outcome? In academic programs, the program learning outcomes are the measurable statement that describe the knowledge or skills that students will achieve upon completion of their academic program. So we are expecting from our students that when they are going to graduate, so which type of skills or knowledge they must have at the time of graduation. So these are the program learning outcomes. So one very important thing here, that when we are going to define the program learning outcome for our program, so this should be measurable statement. Okay, so we are must be able to measure these statement. So this is actually the skills that we are expecting that our students can get upon the graduation. So if we see that in any academic program, the continuous improvement, this is very important. Continuous improvement, this is a key concept in the our academic system. So we need to build a continuous improvement system. So what is the system? That the program must regularly use appropriate documented process for assessing and evaluating the our student outcome. So this is definition we took from the Abbott. So Abbott used the terminology here, the student outcome. Okay, so different accreditation authorities, they are using different terminologies. Like if we see the NCAA, they are using that program learning outcome, but Abbott, they use the student outcome. So every program in continuous improvement, they must have a regular appropriate documented process for assessing and evaluating the extent to which the student outcomes are being attained. Okay, so what is this one? The results of these evaluation must be systematically utilized as an input for continuous improvement of the program. So this evaluation is very important for program learning outcome. It's very important that we collect the data, okay, according to some on the regular basis to collect the data. We analyze the data, we prepare our improvement plan. Okay, so this is very important to improve our continuous improvement system. Similarly, if we see the definition from the NCAA, that the best practices in assessing, evaluating, documenting, and reporting the program continuous quality improvement around program learning outcome. Okay, so what we understand here, that for building our continuous improvement system, we need to have a plan for assessing our program learning outcomes. So here, if we see the continuous improvement concept in program learning outcome, so we have mainly in a system that is the inputs, then we have the process, we have output, and we have outcomes for the program learning outcome. So if we are going to assess the program learning outcome, though, so the first step is the assessment, continuous improvement, that is assessment. So in assessment, there are now the three steps, that is planning. The step number one is planning. We need to make a plan for assessing the program learning outcome. the second step, we need to design the method, and after that we have to collect the data to assess the program learning outcome. So this is our first step in program learning outcome assessment or evaluation of program learning outcome assessment, that planning, design method, and collect data. So when the data is collected, the second step is that we are going to evaluate the data. So this is the second step. And then when the evaluation of data is done, then we have to design the improvement. So this is the third step. And the last step is to implement the improvement. Okay, so this is the fourth step. So this is called closing the loop, and in continuous improvement, the closing loop, it's very important. Okay, so this improvement may be in our output, maybe in our assessment to improve the assessment plan, maybe it is in the evaluation, and maybe in improvement in the designing. So improvement can be at any stage. Okay, so maybe in our input, in process, output, or outcome. Okay, so this is the continuous improvement concept in our program learning outcome. So for this one, the College of Computer Science and Information System, as we know that we have currently two departments, Department of Computer Science and Department of the Information System. So in Department of Computer Science and Information System, we have prepared the program learning outcome assessment timeline. Okay, so we have the assessment timeline, we have a cycle. So this is our third cycle that started in 2021 and it will close at 2025. So this is our 4-year cycle that for program learning outcome assessment. So as you can see here, that in this assessment we have direct assessment, we have indirect assessment. So inside direct assessment we have assessment based on our course learning outcome achievement, we have based on the performance indicator, we have based on exit exam. So this is our direct assessment. Similarly, in indirect assessment, we are using the method that is exit survey, we are using the current student survey, and we are using the program advisory committee survey. So then we have divided our this assessment plan semester wise. In every semester we are collecting the data, as you can see here, that the K1. So this is our first learning outcome, program learning outcome. So you can see here, total we have in computer science department 11 learning outcomes, and from 11, 3 of them they belongs to the knowledge and understanding learning domain, 5 belongs to the skills learning domain, and 3 belongs to the values. So if you see this table, that we have in the first semester, when we started this our cycle in first semester 21-22, so we have collected the data and we have evaluated the data for our learning outcome K1. So C here mean the data collection, E mean to evaluate, and I mean that is implementation. Okay, so in this first semester we are going to collect the data and then we are going to evaluate, and then next semester we are going to implement the data. So this is our PLO assessment plan for the computer science program. Similarly, we have the PLO assessment plan for the information system program. So information system program also have 11 program learning outcomes. Three of them, they are belongs to knowledge and understanding, 5 belongs to skills, and 3 of them belongs to values. Okay, so again, we have here C, E, and I. C mean the collection of the data, E mean evaluate the data, and I mean the implementation of the improvement. Okay, so we have a plan that which program learning outcome we are going to assess in each semester based on our direct and indirect assessment method. So if we see the our assessment plan for 2021 and 2025, so we have input, we have process, we have output, and then we have the program learning outcome or our student outcome. So as I said that we have two type of methods. We have direct assessment, and in direct assessment we are using the performance indicator, and we are using the course learning outcome. So these are our direct assessment method. Then we have the indirect assessment method. In indirect assessment method, we are using exit survey, we are using current student survey, and program advisory committee meeting and survey. So these things, the use direct assessment using the performance indicator, and by using the exit survey, current student survey, and program advisory committee survey, this is we are using for summative assessment. So this is a cycle base, as I have shown you in the previous slide that there is a cycle. Then we have the course learning outcome. Based on the course learning outcome, that this is a formative assessment. So here, just if I differentiate between formative assessment and summative assessment, this is like the intermediate test. For example, in a course, if I am teaching, so if I'm conducting some quiz, some midterm exam, so this is an example of formative assessment. Summative is the final exam when the whole course contents will be tested. Okay, so based on formative assessment, because this our discussion is related to the formative assessment. So what the program learning outcome assessment committee or group, what they will do the assessment. So they will collection of data and prepare the evidence. So they are going to prepare the report or evidence. They are going to collect the data to evaluation for the evaluation and interpretation of evidences, and then they are going to design and approve the improvements. After this, we have two type of improvement. Maybe if this is minor improvement, if it is required, so we are going to implement the improvement. But if sometime it is possible that the improvement that is designed, it is major improvement. So this is another discussion, that what is the difference between minor and major improvement. So if this is minor improvement, it is suggested by the PLO assessment group. So this will be directly implemented in next semester. But if it is major, for example, the PLO assessment group have proposed to change the content of the course. So this is a major improvement. So this will be implemented at the end of the cycle. So another assessment method that we can use here for direct assessment, that is our exit exam. So here we have two type of assessment, formative assessment and summative assessment, but our discussion is related to how to collect the data for the formative assessment. And as we can see here, that using the course learning outcome, so how to select the courses, how to prepare the assessment plan, and how to collect the data and how to evaluate. So for the computer science program, we have designed the 5 course, PLO assessment groups. So as you can see here, the group number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the coordinator and who is the member of the group, and they are responsible for which program learning outcome. For example, the group number 1, they are responsible for program learning outcome K1 and S4. Similarly, for group number 2, they are responsible for program learning outcome S1 and V2, and so on. So we have a group, and these groups will work according to our PLO assessment plan. Okay, so which I have already discussed here, that this is our plan, and the groups, they will work according to the our this assessment plan. Similarly, in IS program also we have 5 groups, and as you can see here, the group number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they have specific program learning outcome assigned to each group. They are responsible for assessing the PLOs. Now, as an example, for example, if we say that we have the PLO K3 and V1 assessment in our first semester 22-23. So this is our first semester 22-23. So in this semester, we are going to assess the PLO K3 and V1 for the CS program. Similarly, for the IS program, they are going to assess the K3 and V1. So what is our PLO K3 and who is responsible for PLO K3? The responsible is group number 3. So what is K3? K3 is an ability to apply the mathematical foundation, algorithm, principle, and computer science theory in the modeling and design of computer-based system in a way that demonstrate the comprehension of the trade-off involved in design choice. Okay, so in this semester, we are going to assess K3, and also we are going to assess the PLO V1. Okay, so an ability to function effectively on team to accomplish a common goal. So this is just as an example that how we are going to perform the formative assessment. So each group, that whenever they are going to do the formative assessment, they have to use the same technique, that how to prepare the assessment plan, how to collect the data, how to evaluate the data, and how to prepare the improvement plan. So this is our direct assessment, and direct assessment, as we have already discussed, that we are going to use the CLO achievement. Okay, so each course is having number of CLOs from 5 to 8 CLOs. So, and there is some alignment of CLOs with the program learning outcome. So we are also going to discuss next. So here, what will be our target? So our target benchmark that we have already decided, that we will say the PLO is achieved if the overall achievement of its corresponding CLO or response on current student survey, because current student survey, we know that this is indirect assessment, but the CLO assessment, that is direct assessment. So if this should be minimum 70% or above. So if it is 70%, then we will say that this program learning outcome is achieved. And if it is less than 70%, then we will say that the program learning outcome is not achieved. So as an assessment group, you have to keep in mind that what is our target benchmark. So in this semester, first semester 22-23, so K3 and V1 we are going to assess. So if we see that who is responsible for assessing the K3 and V1, so this is the group number 3 from CS and group number 3 from IS program. So we have the coordinator for the group, we have the members for the group, okay, for both the department, the coordinator and member. So for example, Dr. Hani, he is responsible for the CS program, and Dr. Asadullah, he is responsible for the IS program. Okay, so again, in this continuous improvement concept, that we have the first step is to assessment. For the assessment, there are 3 sub-steps: the planning, design method, and collect data. When this will be ready, then they will go to evaluate the data. But what is the first thing? That is to make the plan and design the method and to collect the data. So this is our assessment plan, the template for assessment plan. So in assessment plan, the first thing is the program learning outcome. So we have mentioned here what is the program learning outcome. So then the second data input, we have the semester and year, the data collected. So this data is collected for first semester 2022-23, and who is the assessment coordinator or collection agent. So we have to mention who is in male and who is in the female campus, and which is this program. This is computer science program. Similarly, for the IS program, need to fill this information. And now this table, this is very important. If you can see here, the first column in the table, that is program learning outcome. So which program learning outcome we are going to assess? That is K3. Then we need to define the strategies. Okay, so I will show you how we can define the strategies. Then we will write here assessment method. So which assessment method currently we are going to use for formative assessment? That is embedded questions. Then the fourth column is the source of assessment. Okay, so we have to select the source of assessment from our strategies that we will define in our second column. So what is our target? So as I said before, our target is 70% of students at the developing or above level. So this is our target, that 70%. If we achieve the overall result 70%, so we will say that our program learning outcome is achieved. So the last column is the evaluation of result. Who is responsible for evaluating the results and preparing the reports? That is the PLO assessment group number 3 for this semester. So for next year, next semester, another group will be responsible. So this is our first assessment plan table that we need to fill. So how to fill this? We need to go to our program specification. Okay, so I will show you that we need to open the program specification for computer science program. Similarly, the IS group, they have to open the program specification for the IS program. So this is the section 4, program learning outcome mapping matrix. Okay, so you can see here that these are the code for our program learning outcomes K1, K2, K3. So these are 3 which belong to knowledge and understanding. Similarly, we have 5 program learning outcomes belong to skills. Similarly, the 3 belongs to values. Okay, so we are considering that K3. So these are the courses that in level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on. So we need to select all the courses from all the levels which are belongs to or mapped with our K3. So we can see here that with the K3, the course aligned, this is programming languages 1. Okay, so we can see here, this is aligned with our K3. Okay, so we will select this and we will write here. So you can see here that I have written the first thing, that is programming languages 1 in the assessment, strategies. Similarly, we can see here that object-oriented programming is also aligned with our K3, program learning outcome K3. Similarly, data structure and algorithm is aligned. Similarly, computer organization and architecture is aligned. That programming paradigm is aligned. So if we see this program specification, so we have many courses which are aligned from different levels. So we will write all these in this table. Okay, so this is we have already filled that these are the courses which are aligned with our program learning outcome K3. So we have mentioned here that which courses are aligned. So these are our strategies. So from here, we need to select the courses which will be our source of assessment. Okay, so for source of assessment, because this is our formative assessment, and in formative assessment, we have to collect the data from our level 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We will not go to the higher level like level 8, 9, and 10. So level 8, 9, 10, we will use the courses for the summative assessment. So here, if you can see here in strategies that all the courses until the data communication and computer network, these are from level 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So remaining courses, that is graduation project 1, parallel and distributed system, graduation project 2, operational research and computer security, they are from higher level, level 8, 9, and 10. So we will not consider these courses. So currently for the K3, what the courses we have collected from our program specification. So these are the courses. So from here, we need to select as a source of assessment. So here the question is, how many courses we select, that if we have more courses, our data will be more reliable. Okay, so as a rule, minimum we should select 2 courses, and maximum it can be 3, 4. Okay, 4 can be maximum, but 2 will be the minimum courses. So how to select the courses? We need to find out the strong relationship of the course with the program learning outcome. Okay, if you see here again, if I show you that how to find out the strong relationship, so you can see that in this program specification, there are 3 things. I mean introduced, P mean practiced, and M mean mastered. So if we see the alignment, for example, here, this is programming language 1, and programming language 1 alignment is I, mean introduced. So there is a relationship of this course with the K3, but this is at introductory level. Okay, it's not the higher level. So we can skip this course because this is introductory level. So if we see this course, the object-oriented programming, the relationship is P. Okay, so it means higher than introductory level. So we can select this course. We will try to select the courses that have alignment with the M, mean mastered. Okay, so if we select these courses, that will be having more strong relationship of the course with that program learning outcome. But if we did not get mastered, then we can go to the practiced. And if we did not get the practice, then we will go to the introduced level or I. Okay, so this is a way that how we can select the courses. Okay, so first thing, mark the courses from level 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then go and check which is the having strong relationship. So source of assessment, as you can see here, I have selected 3 courses, that is object-oriented programming, software engineering, and theory of computation. Okay, so these are the source of assessment. Now we will focus toward these 3 courses. So what is the next step? Next step is that you have to ask the instructor who is teaching these 3 courses, the object-oriented programming, software engineering, and theory of computation. So we have to ask to the corresponding course teacher, we have to write the email, or we have to meet him and ask the instructor of corresponding course to make a question based on the CLO, which has a mapping with the program learning outcome K3 and V1. Okay, so for each group, for each program learning outcome, we have to follow same step. Okay, so we have to contact with the course instructor, and of course, if we see the course specification, there is a section where the course learning outcomes are aligned with the program learning outcome. Okay, so we have to ask to the course instructor to prepare the question that is for specific course learning outcome. Okay, so he will prepare the question, and the second step is that you have to receive the question and check the alignment with the PLO. So this assessment group, he will receive the question and he will then double check that, okay, the question which is prepared by the course instructor, it have correct alignment with the PLO or not. If it is aligned properly, then it's okay. And if it is not, then you can send to the course instructor with your comments to change the question or update the question. Step number 3 is that if the instructor submitted to the PLO assessment group, the instructor submitted to the PLO assessment group the scanned answer script of the student along with the student grades and achieve in that particular question. So if the question was okay, so what he will do, he will add this question in the final theory exam or final lab exam. So it's up to him that he's preparing the question for theory or for lab exam. So he will add that question in the exam, and when the exam will finish, so of course he will give the grades. Okay, so what he need to do, so for that question, he has to send the result to the assessment group. So collect the results from that course instructor, and then the fourth step is that the PLO assessment group aggregate, evaluate, and analyze the results. So I will also show you one report that how to prepare the report. So this is, you have to do some analysis on the results which you receive from the course instructor. Okay, so the last step is, based on the analysis, you have to prepare the improvement. Okay, so this is the, you need to prepare the report and improvement, action for the improvement, that will be the part of that report. Okay, so one thing here, it's very important, when you have selected these courses, so these courses of course are offered in both the campuses, in male campus and female campus. So you have to contact with the, let's suppose, object oriented programming, who is teaching in male campus and who is teaching in female campus, and you have to ask both the course instructor to add the question in your exam related to your program learning outcome K3. Okay, so then you have to receive the results from both the course instructor, and you have to prepare the report. So now I'm going to show you one sample report that we have prepared in our last semester. So for example, if you see this report is the assessment of the program learning outcome S1. So this is S1, and this report is prepared in second semester 21-22. Okay, so this was our program learning outcome S1, and we have prepared the report. So what is required in this report? If you see the table of contents, we need the introduction, we need the assessment plan, we need the PLO assessment result. Okay, this is our section 3. We have to follow the same template, okay, that we are using in our previous semester. So this is PLO assessment result. So then 3.1, that PLO assessment result for in male and female campus. So this will be the overall. And then section 3.2, it will be the PLO assessment in male campus. And these are the courses individually we have used for as a source of assessment. So these are the results: internet technologies, data structure and algorithms, data communication and computer network. Similarly, this is in male campus, and we have section 3.3, that assessment in female campus. So this is the courses, and this will be the results. So then the section 3.4, we need to write the improvement plan. So after that, we can add also the appendix. So appendix A, that will be questions designed to assess the PLOs, and appendix B, the student's response in the corresponding question. Okay, so you have to receive, and appendix C, it can be the minutes of meeting. If you have conducted the meeting, so you can add. So you can see here that the first part is introduction. So we have written the introduction. Similarly, the group number 3, they have to write the introduction, then assessment plan, the section 2. So this is for PLO S1. So for this semester, you have to do for K3 and V1. So this is assessment plan. So we already explained this table you need to complete. So this is our strategies. This is our source of assessment, and this is our target. After that, we have the PLO assessment result. So what is our all assessment result in male and female campus? So you can see here in male campus, the achievement was 66.67%. And in female campus, according to this report, it was 42.68%. And this is the average. Okay. So this is mean overall. So then we have the section 3.2, the PLO assessment in male campus. So we have done so on in detail the according to the our subjects that we have selected as a source of assessment. So this is data structure and algorithm. So this is the result that we receive from the course instructor. Okay, so here you can see here that mark achieved by the student in question number 8 out of 4. So this was question number 8 in actual final exam that was aligned with this program learning outcome. So total marks was 4. So you can see here the first student he get 0.5. So of course student achievement no, because our target is that should be 70%. So for 4 marks 70% is 2.8. If any student get 2.8 out of 4, so we will say it is achieved. Otherwise we will say it is not achieved. So we can see here this is not achieved, this also 2 is not achieved. So this student achieved. So similarly you can say red, that is not achieved, but green color, that is achieved. So overall achievement percentage is 60%. So how many students we was having? Total 10. And from excuse me, so from 10, the 6 students they achieve. So the achievement percentage is 60%. Similarly, for the second course, we have received the results. So we put it into the report. Okay. And then we have the overall assessment in male campus. So overall for 3 subjects we have added here. And then we have calculated the average. So this is the overall 66.67%. Similarly, we have done for the female campus for each course. Okay, so after this, we have the overall PLOK1 assessment in the female campus. So we have done. So this is 42.68%. So what is our improvement plan? So we need to have, so this is our input, process, output, and outcome. So action to be taken. So we are going to assess, evaluate, and there are some recommendation. Okay, so these are the improvement recommendation written by the assessment committee. So as a committee, of course, after assessing, you have to write some improvement action. So after that, this is our appendix 1, the questions designed the PLO for PLO assessment. So this is male campus. So this is the question designed for the data structure and algorithm. Okay. Similarly, for internet technology, this is the question designed. So this was question number 5 in the actual exam. So similarly, data communication and computer network. So final theory exam. Okay. So final lab exam. So these questions are designed which are aligned with our program learning outcome assessed with S1. So after that, appendix B, the student response in corresponding question. If you get the scan copy from the course instructor, so you can add here, otherwise you can write here, not applicable. So minutes of meeting, if you want to add, if you have done different type of meeting with your group, so you can add the minutes of meetings. So this is the report at the end you have to prepare. So this is our PLO assessment report. Okay, so this was our discussion about the how we can collect the data and how we can prepare the report based on that data. So if you have any questions, so you can ask. Okay, later if you need any help or any thing, any explanation, so you can contact with me. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you inshallah in our next video.